Hey guys, I hope you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me because I don't know with these stupid earphones. Hey there. Let me know if you can hear me, you guys, because I know that these earphones are a little bit, they sometimes they're good, sometimes they don't want to cooperate. Thank you very much. Amazing. Love to hear it. Perfect. I know I'm a little bit early. I love this office too. Honestly, I can concentrate so much better here. Thank you, Andres. Let me just move you guys. There we go. Thanks, guys. We still have 3 minutes. 3 minutes. How are you guys doing today? Happy Sunday. Hopefully, no power outages today. Hopefully not. I really hope not. I mean, haven't had a problem in this office with power outages. Oh, yeah, yeah. It is so warm here. You guys know me, I'm always cold. It is so warm here because on the weekend they don't turn on the air conditioning, and it's like what, 97 degrees here right now. Oof. And I'm always cold, so this is a change. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Get my phone set up here just in case anyone needs to reach me. Um, Whenever you're leasing onto a company, do you need your own plates or do they have a plate program? I think it depends on the company, but from what I know, usually carriers will give you their plates because once you lease onto a carrier, technically, even though you're your own business and you're a business owner, technically the FMCSA considers you as part of that carrier's fleet. And because of that, the IRP has to be from the carrier, from what I know, and like from what I have found out. Thanks for the compliments, you guys. Oh, that time. It's already 4:30. Thank you for the compliments. Thank you very much. I really, really appreciate it. So, okay, let's get started. It's interesting. Well, before I start answering questions, I do want to give you a small update regarding the freight market. So, on Friday, I released the weekly market update and forecast, and it was such good news. Everything was going in the right direction. Now, when we looked at the numbers on Friday, the tender rejection rate was 3.52. It has dropped by 0.5% over the last few days. So now it's 3.01, which is somewhat normal because the volumes drop and the tender rejections usually follow. My question now is, was that a seasonal kind of blimp in the market, or what's going to happen? So, yeah, not the most amazing news, but I'm really, really curious to see what happens next. But yeah, currently those dropped, unfortunately, which is kind of a bummer. But see, this market is completely unpredictable. Usually, historically speaking, you can predict the market pretty easily. There is a clear cut, like seasonal pattern. Yeah, you might not be able to predict rates to the dollar or to the cent, but it's pretty clear cut for the most part. And right now, it's like haywire. All right, let's start answering some questions. um, I'm concerned. I have a drive in tomorrow in Colorado. Just got a good rate on Friday. Oh, I see. So, oh, you have a drive in Colorado. See, I don't do drive ins anymore, but let's see what's going on in, I think it's called Pueblo, Colorado, for drive ins. Mm, let's see. Van. I had a flatbed there, but I pre-booked a load. And it was fine. Let's see. So there are 41 matches currently for drive-ins. Oof, yikes. You'll get a good rate per mile if you're going to Montana. Uh, and yeah, Montana is the place. But Montana is completely not a great market. Yeah, it's not Colorado in general. Not the best market. I was just talking to my coworker about, she was asking me about the first time I booked a load, and I remember that load so well. I also remember the second load, which took us to Colorado. And because I didn't know anything about the market, I called on a load on the load board from Colorado, and I asked them for some. I don't remember what I asked them, but like $2.50 or something. And the broker is like, "Ma'am, do you know the market at all?" I'm like, "No." But Colorado is historically not really good. I think even in 2021, Colorado was one of those places where it wasn't great. Yeah. Da-dum. So, Fernando, in terms of the minimum you should move per mile, it all depends on your cost per mile and what kind of profit you want to make, right? Everyone's cost per mile is different. So, it all depends. Like for the flatbeds, we try to do over $2.60 with deadhead. It doesn't always work, but we do try. Whoops. Thank you, Josh Jones. I appreciate it. I love that. What is that? Is that a cat or a dog? Love it. But yeah, it all depends on your cost per mile, guys, right? In this market, it's of course we all want to make money. This is the ultimate goal, but in this market, making a huge amount of money can be a challenge if you are not strategic about where to go. And even if you are, the current market is so, I don't know, it's all over the place. One day one market area is good, the other day that market area is dead, something else is good. Except for, I feel like flatbeds are the most predictable at the moment. It's always the south. Thank you, Jeremy. Yes, 4th of July, I literally just passed out and slept. That's what I do when I have a day off, I literally will just sleep. I hope you guys had a wonderful, wonderful 4th of July. Oh my God, I saw on YouTube, there was instead of fireworks, they were doing a drone show. It was so gorgeous. Like there's the astronaut there, like putting the American flag and the whole spiel about this is one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. I think that's what I started crying. Just love it. I still have a sweater and long sleeves. Yeah, because I'm always I I will always I have a very hard time wearing short sleeves for some reason because I'm always terrified of being cold. So I'm always in long sleeves, but as you can see, they're rolled up because it's not cold here at all. um, yes, Transport King, thank you very much that you brought this comment up. Let's really try to keep it respectful. Over the past week or so, I mean, I understand we're all human. You guys know I studied psychology, so I try to understand human nature as much as possible. But one thing I have several pet peeves, and one of them is when people start being disrespectful. If you guys haven't seen, a lot of people ask me for OnlyFans. I created an OnlyFans. Um, it's not really an OnlyFans, but I created an OnlyFans where it's literally only fans because I'm over it. So let's try to keep it respectful. I appreciate the kind compliments. I appreciate people who disagree with me and challenge what I say. I think that's the best way to learn. I do not appreciate dirty, like dirty comments. I hope that we can all agree on that. Most of you guys are wonderful, but there are just a few people who won't stop. Are rates back to 2021 rates yet? No, not yet. I don't think we're going to see it go back to that, at least not in the near future. I'm hoping it goes back to being survivable, right? A lot of carriers, I mean, they're operating at a loss. I just looked at these dry van rates from Colorado, and I understand Colorado is not a great place to be, but Colorado, wow. I mean, $1 per mile. What do they have here? Um, to Alabama, they have like 1,400 some miles with deadhead, $1,400. It's crazy. Yes, exactly, Transport King. If the question does not get answered, send me an email. Of course, Louise. Thank you. Thank you for joining. Rosalinda, yes, you can haul without your own trailer. That would be power only. But for that, you need trailer interchange insurance. Um, yeah, see, like the people are saying you can get your own plates. That's something that I'm very like unsure about because if you ask any, what is it called? Regulatory agency, they'll say no, you as the carrier have to provide it, but I don't think that's fully correct. I think that owner operators can provide their own plates, flatbed or reefer. Oh, that is a great question. um, my first initial thing I would want to say is flatbed. But considering what is happening to flatbeds right now and understanding that this is a very seasonal trailer, I would say maybe a reefer. I mean, it's all up and down. I wish I had a better answer for you guys, like a clear cut. This is the equipment that's going to make you money. This is where you should go. This is what you have to do. The market is just all over the place right now. Thank you, Malfini. Malfini, I like that name, Malfini. Hi, Dissident. Hi, Abraham. Uh, Team flatbed driving. Love that question. What do I think about team flatbed driving? There are not a lot of team loads for flatbeds. There are some, but they're pretty rare. However, because usually there are no appointments for flatbeds, right? It's all first come, first serve. You can end up doing more loads, making more money if you have a team. Does that make sense? Like, for example, a load is 800 miles. A solo driver will not be able to do that with, I mean, if they want to deliver the next morning, right? They pick up in the morning and deliver the next morning. Usually a solo driver cannot do that without violating the logbook. So usually it's a 2-day load. For example, it's paying $2,000. If you have a team, you can do that in 1 day because there are no appointments. So team for flatbed is an interesting idea. Hi, Gus. Elkin, I didn't fully understand your question. Do you mean when is the best time to become a freight broker, or when is the best time to become a carrier? Hi, Landon. Wheel burner, we do not do cross-border freight. No. Long haul or short haul? If you were to ask me in 2021, I would say short haul all the way. Currently, depends on the equipment. Mm, if you're asking if you should get an MC, I would say get an MC, not just the DOT number. Don't be just intrastate. Um, if if you're open to both, I would say choose interstate. Gives you more opportunities. When are we expecting freight rates to go up? Ugh, you know what? It depends on who you ask. So I mentioned this in Friday's video. I just watched Coyotes. It's called Coyote Curve. They do every quarter, they predict what's going to happen in next quarter. They talk about what happened in the previous quarter. And they said, and I do tend to believe them in this sense, that we're bouncing on the bottom, which is, I mean, that's how I feel as well. They did say that most likely their prediction is that rates are going to start going up. Mine, I mean, theoretically they should, because now we're getting into, first there's going to be the peak season, then the holiday season, and end of the year and everything. But considering the fact that the market is this unpredictable, I cannot, I'm not 100% certain whether rates will start really climbing up. Scott, can you tell us how to secure direct freight? So I have a video on how to find direct shippers. One of the most challenging things with direct shippers that I have found is that because we have worked with direct shippers, I have tried to build relationships with them, but because our fleet size is pretty small considering, it's hard to consistently provide a service to them, right? Because we're all over the place. We're not always in that location where the direct shipper is. Uh, yeah, this is the most challenging, but I do have a video on how to find direct shippers. Do you have any new equipment or older? We try to keep equipment new. So we have two 2023s, two 2024s that are coming. One is already here. I just have to get all the documents in order, and I'm going to pick one of them up already. The other one is coming at the end of the year. And then we have one 2020 and one 2018. Yeah. One thing that I have learned is that keeping old equipment is not a good idea. You always want to renew your fleet. Otherwise, you're going to be just spending all the money you earn on those repairs and, yeah, those repairs and maintenance. You sent me an email. I'll double check. I know I'm about like 5 to 7 days behind right now, but I will be getting back to you guys. I'm out of the industry right now, feeling so happy. Yeah, sometimes, I mean, I'll be honest with you guys, there are moments, one of them I was very clear about my breaking point a week ago or a few weeks ago, last Friday. No, not last Friday, the Friday before 2 weeks ago. There are moments where I feel like, why am I doing this to myself? Like, I quit. I don't want this anymore. But I'm too stubborn. That's the thing. I am so stubborn. Sometimes it's a good thing, sometimes it's a bad thing. We'll see what it brings this time. But yeah, taking a break. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's good to take a break. It's good to take a break. And sometimes, you realize some people who are very self-aware, they realize that this is just not for me and I'm going to be happier doing this. And we all have just one life, right? We have to do things that actually feed our soul. Mm-mm-mm. Do you think that rates are getting any better yet? They were last week. As of, over the past 2.5 weeks, they were getting better for reefers and dry vans. The thing that makes me a little bit concerned now is that the as you guys call it, the Tinder rejection. No, the Tinder rejection rate went down from 3.52 to 3.01 in a matter of 2 days. And this tells me that that tender rejection increasing was just a seasonal thing. And in reality, we're not, at least it doesn't seem like we're ready to start actually climbing up on solid ground yet. So, of course, as I always say, when tender rejections go down, usually they drag rates down because less volume ends up like going on the spot market. And if less volume is going on the spot market, that means paired with capacity, there's way too many trucks. Our biggest problem really right now is overcapacity. Now, I was looking, tomorrow I'm going to be releasing a video about weekly capacity updates, but it's going to be skewed for last week because of 4th of July. So capacity, it is like the net carrier population is decreasing, it seems, but just not fast enough. I am good, Mark. How are you? Yeah. No, I also transport king. Absolutely. I think, I didn't want to be like outright rude to people who ask for OnlyFans. So I think that was a perfect solution. I think that was a perfect solution. Plus, they want fans. I gave them fans, ceiling fans, floor fans, fans with dogs, Spider-Man on a fan. uh, Last week, your update said that Wisconsin was a good place to be. Yeah, Wisconsin was super dark blue. A lot of tender rejections there for dry vans. I'm so glad it worked out for you. 2 weeks out is going to be difficult because tender rejections, the way we predict, the way it works, right? It's not that that map shows what's going to, like the spot rates for next week. No, we're just taking certain things that are historically, what is the word I'm looking for? That historically influence the spot market. One of them is tender rejection. So when we look at a place that has high volume and it's very, very blue, meaning a ton of tender rejections, we know that those rejections will hit the spot market. Those loads that are rejected will hit the spot market within 3 days to a week, usually. And that's how we used to predict it. But 2 weeks out is going to be a little bit difficult. Yeah. In terms of next week and the following, I'll release a video. I do it every Friday. Every Friday we look at where to go if you're a dry van, if you're a reefer. For flatbeds, it's a little bit different because Sonar does not have that capability of showing rejection rates and volumes yet. It looks like they will be looking into adding that. But for dry vans and reefers, yeah, every single week we'll look at where is the best place to go according to the volumes and rejections. How long do IFTA stickers take to come in the first time? In California, it takes 10 business days. In different states, it's different. Of course, Rosalinda. My pleasure. What's the topic for today? Oh, we're just answering questions, talking about the freight market. um, Differente. If I have no experience in dispatching and I take your course, will companies value it or would they prefer to train me themselves. Look, that dispatching course will teach you. I don't like to toot my own horn. I'm not that person. I am a very humble person by nature. So I really hate answering this question, but realistically, from what I have seen, this is the most in-depth dispatching course. Will your company value it? I have no idea because they might have processes in place that are very specific to that company, but they for sure will value you understanding how to deal with problems on the road, like shortages, overages, damages, how to help the carrier or the owner operator. They will appreciate the negotiation strategies. The negotiation strategies I got from Harvard because I took a negotiation course in Harvard. So I just took what I learned and applied it to the trucking industry, and it worked beautifully. It still does, but only if you're in the right market. Because currently, realistically, negotiating power exists only when both sides have something to gain, right? In this case, brokers have nothing to gain by giving you the load because they have 250 other carriers to choose from for that one load. But it's still a good thing to learn about. So I think it's worth taking it. But in terms of whether your company will value it, I don't know. They might have completely different processes in place. Maybe they do things in a different way. Yes, welcome everybody. Yes, Christian, exactly. IRP does not give you authority. IRP is something, these are apportioned license plates that allow you to go from state to state, right? It's just registration for multiple states, basically. And then you pay once a year the fees, depending on what kind of mileage you accrued. Yeah, James, I have to agree with you. James said that he doesn't understand people that are actual owner operators and they don't know their costs. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, and I'm going to be completely transparent. When we started, I had no idea what cost per mile even meant. I was just booking loads that seemed pretty good at that time. That was in 2019. I started, quite honestly, I started really paying attention to cost per mile when we started hiring and when the market started turning. That's when I realized that, hey, it's not just about booking a really pretty load, like a load that's packaged very nicely. There are a lot of things that go into it, right? You have to be very mindful of those deadhead miles. There are a lot of things that I take into consideration when booking a load. I think reefer is more seasonal than flatbed. Reefers are seasonal, agreed. I feel, I mean, unfortunately, I don't have any recent experience with reefers. Since the beginning of April, we haven't been operating the reefer. Actually, since the middle of April. But yeah, we haven't been operating the reefer. I wish I had a little bit more experience to share more like firsthand information with you guys. We started the trucking companies. We started with a reefer in 2019. We started operating in October 2019, actually already booking loads. So that was a learning curve. Then 2020 hit. That was strange because then April of 2020 hit and we were like, what is going on? Everything's crashing. And from there, it was just a breeze. So I'm learning with you guys every day. I have been in this industry only since 2019, but I feel like I've learned a lot. I feel like we got in the perfect time where everything started happening. So, yeah. Mm, mm, mm. Would you consider that the market is bad because of the economy, or is this the new normal because of excess capacity? I think it's both. So, on the freight side, COVID just messed up everything. It seemed like it was doing the trucking industry a favor there for a while, but it messed up everything. On the economy side, right? COVID meant shutdowns. People were bored out of their damned minds sitting at home. And on top of it, the government was giving them free money. So now their buying power is increasing. What does a person do when they're locked in a cell, pretty much? They can't go out, they can't go see their friends. Well, they start focusing on renovating their homes, buying stuff to make them feel psychologically better, buying, especially with this newfound money that the government is giving for free. So that, of course, started translating to the freight market. The volume started going up like crazy. And because the volumes increased, there was a lack of capacity, rates started going up like crazy. Then everyone and their grandmother heard that, hey, the trucking industry is doing very well. Let's go make some, you know, money and it's going to be very, very easy. Okay, so that was weird. So they go in, and all of a sudden we have a situation. I love the likes. All of a sudden, poor guy. All of a sudden, we have a situation where the capacity is increasing, but the volumes start dropping because COVID restrictions are easing up. People now can go to restaurants. They're spending more money on services. So volumes are decreasing, capacity is increasing, rates are starting to go down. Now, this is from I guess, how the economy affected the freight market. Now we have a situation because the government was giving so much free money, and people were buying so much, we have inflation, right? And when inflation happens, and paired with the fact that now people will have to be paying back their student loan debts and everything, people are holding on to their money. And now the Ukraine war as well, people are unsure about the future. People are holding on to their money for dear life. But what they are still spending on is services, things that don't go on a truck. So volumes are going down, capacity is still high. So they kind of go both hand in hand. Sorry, I went on a rant there. Yikes. Whoops. Hi, Clarence. Welcome. Thank you, Josh. Sorry, guys, I'm behind. I know I'm behind. um, I'm in Florida. Cars, transportation. How's California market? So, Gus, I'm not familiar. There are a few things that I'm completely unfamiliar with. Hot shots, cargo vans, sprinter vans, car haulers. Unfortunately, I'm not familiar yet. If you're asking about California, California is an interesting market for reefers for outbound freight. The rates are pretty decent relatively. For dry vans, I'm not sure. I think for dry vans as well, Southern California is more or less okay relatively. Relatively. For car haulers, I'm not sure. Where's my coffee? Mhm. Yes, team driving is extremely popular with, especially reefers, I would say, especially reefers, because these are products that expire, so on and so forth. I feel we need a catalyst. I'm hoping for yellow to close and UPS to strike. Um, yeah, like I said, Christian, that's a very interesting thing. I need to look at how that will affect the market. So not a few days ago, this was on, I think it was on Friday. Yeah, it was on Friday, I believe. This broker called me on our posted flatbed, and when I told him we can't move his load because I just didn't like the load and where it was going, I was in such shock. He actually started just talking to me and talking about the market, and he was so pleasant and decent. And one of the things he said, he is like, "Trust me." What would he say? He said something along the lines like, "Trust me, the market will turn around if UPS strikes." Such shock. I was telling Armando, I think was the name. I was in such shock that this broker was so decent and actually wanted to have just a conversation that I didn't even connect or ask him what does this have to do? I have to search it up. What do you guys think? I mean, yellow going out, they are primarily less than truckload, correct? And what about UPS? That's my question. Correct, amen. You really need to keep new stuff because warranty and everything. We, Frisco Jack, we only have Freightliners. We only operate Freightliners at the moment. There was a time where we thought this was the best decision ever because of how many service centers and everything. I'm not so sure anymore. Everyone's talking about Kenworth. No one really is talking about Volvo, but everyone's talking about Kenworth. Lease or buy a semi truck. I will always say buy. Finance if you want to have cash flow. Don't buy cash. But yeah, I would always say buy. What advice can you give to new owner operators, first time and first truck? The biggest advice I can give, are you talking about if you're your own carrier, you have your own MC and DOT, is right now, there are a few things. Number one, make sure you have enough cash on hand because you have no idea how quickly those expenses pile up. And with brokers paying late, and if you're not factoring, it becomes a really big problem. That's cash flow is everything. Number two is start already before you even hit the road, start researching which brokers are going to work with you because a lot of brokers are now making up crap excuses as to why they can't work with you, even if your MC is 250 years old and you have absolutely nothing bad on your record. So you have to start looking at where are you going to be finding those loads. There are some brokers that will still work with you, but more and more of them are being just, I mean, they're making up the most strange excuses. On Friday, again, we had a situation where a broker, the first guy said, no, 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 we don't work with you. You don't have enough trucks in your fleet for us to work with you. And then we called back about 20 minutes later, set us up, no problem, gave us the load, negotiated. So this is something that I recommend is start searching which brokers are going to work with you if you're a new authority. If you're leasing on under a carrier, just be mindful of those expenses. Really, really just pay attention to that. That cash flow is so important. You can be the most profitable business out there. If your cash flow is crap, you're out. Um, decent. Sorry, I'm just, you guys are having conversations with each other, and I'm just trying to find the question. So let's see. Yes, proper maintenance is everything. I agree. Most people say it's easier to make money and become a millionaire in America. Is it true or not? Why do people still complain? I'm not even going to answer that because I have a very strong opinion about people complaining about the US. I'm not going to mention that. I think this is relative to compared to other countries. People just don't know how good they have it here a lot of the time. This is really, it's I came here in 2009. I studied my whole life in an American school, but I came to the United States, moved here in 2009. I was very, very sheltered from the crap that happens around you when you're not living in the US. People have no idea how beautiful this country is and what kind of opportunities it does give you. I know some of you will disagree with me, but I'm telling you, it's night and day. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. But I love this country. I love this country. How many trucks do we have? Okay, we have a 2020 Freightliner 2018. We have two 2023s. Yeah, two 2023s, four trucks, one 2024 coming, or it's already here, and one more coming at the end of the year. So five at the moment, with one more coming. Um, would I say a box truck would be a good addition to the fleet? I don't know much about box trucks, but from what I see, I don't know. The problem is I see that they pay really bad, but I don't know what the cost per mile is like with a box truck. That's the thing. As a dispatcher, the percentage we charge, do we collect that from gross or net? Usually it's from the gross. Our policy is if I tell a broker I'll haul his load for 1,000, we don't. Yeah, so Ace Transport, that's a good policy. I say the same thing. Like if a broker is trying to offer me a load for, I don't know, 50 miles for $750, I will always say that I cannot haul for less than 1,000 a day. Some brokers will negotiate depending on the area. Some will send me to hell and wish me a pleasant trip. Yeah, it's not easy. This industry is definitely not easy. I think people have a skewed idea of what this industry is because of 2021. It was so easy to make money then, no matter where you go. I remember I even made a video about it, and I wasn't joking when I said that I would wake up, I could close my eyes, just pick a load, and it would be like 3.5 to $4 per mile. And I didn't have to worry about where we have to go. I didn't have to worry about like where we're unloading. Will I be able to get my guy out of there? No worries at all. No matter where you went, except for Colorado and Montana, maybe Wyoming, no matter where you went, you knew that you're gonna get over $3 per mile. That was a good time. I'm nostalgic. Late to class. Welcome to class. Michael, thank you so much, but don't worry about it. All good. It's all good. Mm, Brian, you can't get loads due to new authority and cargo ban right now. How long is enough to have your authority? Most brokers, after 1 year, you're good to go. Some brokers will require 3 months. I think more commonly right now it's 6 months of authority. What are the top five companies to start as a driver in 2023? Skip Swift, please. Anyone can ask, does anyone know? Because I'm not sure. I know that if you're a new CDL holder, you're going to have to choose between only a few companies that are self-insured, and usually those are the mega carriers because insurance companies, and this is something that I'm battling with right now because I have a few people that we want to hire. They have a ton of experience, but not in the US. They're actually friends of my business partner, a ton of experience, CDL experience, just not in the US, and it's non transferable, you know? So they are considered new here. And finding insurance that's going to cover someone that has less than 2 years of experience is almost impossible. And most insurance companies are now trying to push 5 years of experience. It's crazy. Yeah, so if you're a new CDL holder, you will usually go with the self-insured carriers, right? Because they make the rules. Something to be very careful about, and I think this is good for everyone to know, is be careful. There are certain companies out there that will tell you they're going to insure you, as a new CDL driver and you are driving and you realize you're not insured. I mean, that's horrific. I don't understand how they get away with it, but there are companies like that. Hi, Black Spider-Man. Assad, that's never going to happen. See, like those are the comments. I'm not going to block you yet. I'll see how it goes from here on out. I'm not here to show off anything other than my knowledge, right? Like, I'm not going to stand for that anymore. I'm so over it. Honestly, if I had like an astronaut suit, I probably would wear it. Um, Selena, so you're starting a box truck business. I'm not 100% familiar with box trucks. However, would it be better to base the company in my state of residency or where I go to school? So it depends. Where are you based? It all depends, right? Like if you're in California, I would not base your business in California. Oh, yikes, it skipped. Where was I? Sorry, guys, it skipped. All right, well, yeah, if I don't answer your question, I do apologize. Just send me an email. Uh, does it make financial sense to buy a used truck and start running right now? How used and how many miles? And does it have any aftermarket warranty? Or does it have any warranty right now? Because those maintenance expenses, I mean, some of you guys saw, some of you didn't. Last month, those maintenance expenses, they destroy you. And especially with the kind of um, quotes you're getting from these service centers that like to hike up those labor hours to change a light bulb. Yeah. So it depends on the warranty, how many miles, what kind of equipment. I know that Freightliners, from our experience, around 500,000 miles, and you start having to constantly invest money into the truck because either the radiator goes out or something else goes out or the differential, whatnot. Are you going to do a video about your background being from Ukraine? I don't think so. I don't think so. I'm from Mariupol. If you guys know, it doesn't exist anymore after the war. Yeah. Is this a good time to move from a truck driver to broker? That's an excellent question. I have never been a broker, so I cannot say with 100% certainty. However, if you think brokers are making money right now, they're not. Gouging, that's true, but that doesn't mean that they're making money. What is happening right now is there's such a huge competition among brokers because it wasn't just carriers who came into or flocked into trucking in 2021. The market was great for everyone. Brokers, carriers didn't matter. It was only not good for shippers because shippers had to pay a ton. And you will read articles where shippers actually say we're getting our revenge on carriers right now. Brokers are price gouging right now because they don't have the volume. There are brokers that are going out of business. So I wouldn't say it's not like the idea that carriers are suffering and brokers are making bank. That's not true. Carriers are suffering because brokers are price gouging. That's true. Brokers are price gouging because they don't have the volume anymore. There is a ton of competition. Yeah. That's why, I mean, price gouging, it pisses me off too, just like you guys. But what pisses me off more is the attitude. The attitude is what really gets under my skin because I understand that brokers, it's not like they're getting rich. They're not. The people who are really benefiting from this situation are shippers. Do I think lane access will be successful? It has lane access is, I mean, it claims that you can find direct shippers there. I have an account. I did not find any luck there, to be quite honest. Will it be successful? It's possible. It's possible. Hi, fugitive. Do you need a truck and trailer and insurance to get BOC3? No, you do not need a truck, trailer, and insurance to get BOC3. You need insurance to activate the MC authority, right? The operating authority, the MC number. And without a CDL and a truck, you cannot get that insurance because they ask for the VIN number and the CDL when getting quotes for insurance. But BOC3, no, you need the MC number, DOT number, your address, all of those things. Mm, 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 mm. If I want to buy one truck and trailer, is it better to register my own MC DOT or work under a company? Excellent question. You have to, there are a few things to consider here, right? Number one, if you get your own MC DOT right now, you're going to be paying more for insurance. That's number one, right? I don't know how old your CDL is, but new venture always means a little bit of a higher quote with insurance. Number two, if you get your own MCDOT number, you're going to work much harder than I had to in 2019 to find brokers to work with you with a new authority. It's still possible, it's just more time that you have to invest. On the other hand, if you lease onto a carrier, you have their MC, right? Which is, let's say, an established MC, easier to book loads, especially if they give you access to the load boarder, they let you book your own loads. That's wonderful. Number two, insurance costs are usually less, but you don't get to keep 100% of your income, right? So I would say like this. If you are a new CDL holder and you have the opportunity to lease onto a carrier, get your experience, and then get very cheap insurance. You know, there's another thing is, of course, the market. The market. If you come into this industry right now by yourself, you know, and you dispatch yourself and you are not very aware of the market and where the good areas are relatively, where the bad ones are, it can be challenging. Roman, tell me your situation. Like, how old is your CDL and what kind of equipment and all of that? Frisco Jack, yes, absolutely. Reefers are interesting. Reefers, I have a love-hate relationship with. My business partner still can't get his sleep cycle normalized after operating a reefer. Yeah, it's a curious. Whoops, where did we go? Thank you, Ukraine Online. A new company, Progressive. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry to hear that. So Progressive is known for that. They will shut, I mean, they will kick you off the insurance without any explanation. We got kicked off the insurance because we had an out of service order because when we were driving right before the wait station, we hit a nail and our tire went flat. So they put us out of service for that tire. Progressive kicked us off. Yeah, this happened to us. I hate Progressive. Uh, will you have any problem buying a new one with another insurance company? I would ask Progressive should tell you why they canceled. How is your CSA score? Thank you, Jonathan. I didn't see that. If I've been trying, can someone become if you have been driving for 1 year, can you become an owner? An owner operator? Yeah, you'll just have to find insurance that suits. A lot of insurance company ask for 2 years. There are some Mojave. I know a lot of people don't like them, but Mojave actually will insure someone with 6 months of CDL experience. They will make you use their consortium, though, drug and alcohol, and they will put cameras in your truck. So it's an interesting little trade-off. Let me see. It skips. Let's see. Where was I? I'm okay. Uh, Guys, if I missed your question, I'm so sorry. It skips down and then I can never find my place. Hey, Gio. UPS is monsters. Yes, they are. Sabia, no, they have not. No clever name. Yeah, no, I didn't go to Harvard. I took several courses from Harvard, though. It's called Harvard Business School Online. So I took several courses there. I would love to go to Harvard. I can bet, again, I don't like tooting my own horn, but I would get in if I applied. I can't. But I'd love to like have that diploma saying I went to Harvard, preferably law school, but I don't know anything about law. That's something I would not get into. Some brokers are getting petty. Yeah, it's crazy, right? It's insane. Taras, slava Ukrainie, героям slava. Best way, if you want to be your own authority, you must know how to fix most of the problems on the road. 100%. If you don't know anything about the equipment you're driving, you're going to end up getting cheated out of a ton of money to fix it. That is 100% true. For me, it's very difficult. We're three business partners, right? One of my business partners is very well versed in trucks and how to repair them and what, if something goes wrong, how to fix it, all of that. I am not. I don't, to me, it's like, I mean, it's crazy. I don't understand it at all. So when I have to call a Freightliner service center and try to explain what's wrong and get a quote, I know for a fact that they're cheating me. So now I have learned to ask my business partner to call because he right away can tell, whether they're trying to just hike up the price for things that we really don't need. Because I don't. Knowledge is everything. Yeah. Mhm. We've hired our own mechanics. It saves, yeah, 100% it does. Героям слава. Roadrunner, yeah, 100%. Again, a lot of people complain about the US, but again, it's all relative. A lot of them can't even imagine how bad it is in other places. I haven't gotten 1 cent of that COVID free money. Me neither. I felt really, really left out. When do you think the freight market will turn around in favor of the carriers? You know what? You're guessing end of 2023. That's what Coyote is guessing as well. Personally, I love making predictions. You guys know I like making predictions, but at this point, I realize that there are so many variables that are changing on a daily basis. I don't I don't want to make a prediction. I'm really hoping it's by the end of 2023, but at the moment, I have no idea. I really don't know. I really hope it's 20. Look, historically speaking, it should get better because peak season and then holidays, and especially for reefers, it should get better because we have to. I just started reading Freakonomics. I've never read that book. I started reading it because I want to start thinking outside of the box, outside the box. But right now, we have to also look at psychology of people. The economy in general, like the whole feeling, of what's going on right now, not just in trucking, it's not normal. People like normalcy. So what do they do? For Thanksgiving, they're going to go out, buy food, get people together. They crave a sense of normalcy, right? So that's why I think for reefers, hopefully there are going to be some improvements as we move throughout the year. And hopefully that will trickle down to dry vans as well. But again, I don't know. I don't know. It's really hard to predict a market that is living its own life. It's like a schizophrenic market at the moment. Where was I? Uh, have I ever been rejected? Someone told you that because you use yes, there are brokers. For some reason, I don't know why it's progressive. There are brokers that will not work with carriers who are insured by Progressive. Not a I'll give you my theory. Progressive is one of those insurance companies that will drop you like this. And I think that brokers are also wary of that because if they drop you while you're on a load and something happens to that load, then you're in trouble. I believe the Berkshire Hathaway insurance is the same way. They will insure new drivers, everything, but they will just drop you without reason or with the most ridiculous reason. Yeah, I personally, I'm going to, for the trucking side, I'm staying away from Progressive. What do I think about flatbed in Missouri or Midwest? Next to St. Louis, Missouri, you can get loads, right? The further you move, hold on, let me get my map out. My apologies. So if you are, where's my map? For flatbeds, okay, Missouri. Yeah, the closer to St. Louis you are with flatbeds, the more opportunities you will get. If you're closer to the Kansas side, Kansas City, then it becomes more icky. So it depends where in Missouri. Then you asked me about Midwest. Midwest, interesting. So Midwest is curious. So I consider the Midwest Missouri, Kansas, Iowa, Illinois, Indiana. I mean, Tennessee, not really. But in general, like Illinois depends. If you're closer to St. Louis, from my experience, it's okay. Indiana is not my favorite place. Ohio is horrible from my experience. Yeah. I think the best, not I think, I know that the best places to be with flatbeds are um, like the South. The South is the best place. Why am I not happy with the Freightliner? I am happy with the Freightliner. It's just, I think I mentioned this. My business partner calls our 2018 Freightliner the trader truck because it's over 500,000 miles. And the moment it gets over 500,000 miles, it starts kind of quitting its existence and you have to replace everything. And it does it without warning. So I just feel like it does it. You know what? Someone said that they're building these trucks not to last. And I think that's True. That summarizes it. Vladislava Bogubush. I watched a previous video on Bulat. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I Here's hoping that the market gets better. 2021 was the best, 100%. Oh my goodness, time flies. Semper 100%. Yeah. Trucking is I still love this industry, but it really, it kind of breaks away pieces of you, in my opinion. Mm. Andy, so contract rates, that's the thing. It's a good point. Like a contract rate is 2.8 per mile, and then the spot price is 1.8. Usually, contracts are contracts. You expect that people will honor them. And carriers, when they sign contracts, they expect that the rate will not change. And shippers expect that they will have consistent capacity for that rate. Contract rates, they're like, for example, usually contract rates are good for a year. This is on average, right? Every shipper is different, but on average, it's good for a year. What shippers are doing right now, just to give you a sense of what's happening in the market, because the market is declining, shippers are doing bids more and more often to capture and capitalize off the current bad market. When May, yes, it was May, when May hit this year, that's when a lot of contracts that were signed in May of 2022, which was really, really good. It was a good time for contract carriers. These were renegotiated this May, and this is why the contract that's also part of the reason there were increased tender rejections, because contract rates, they lag behind. They follow the spot market, but with a huge delay of several quarters. And now what shippers are doing is they're doing bids every few, I don't know, few months to capture, because if they do a bid, like if the spot rates were, I don't know, $2.50, and that bid is good for a year, or that contract is good for a year, then technically the shipper has to pay $2.50, even if the spot market is paying $1.50. So what the shippers are doing now is they're renegotiating those contracts more often to capture the current spot market rates, which is kind of crappy. Whoops. Hi, Armando. Hi, Ron Smith. Thank you, Natasha. Thank you, Armando. I appreciate the support. Um, can you go a little more into detail? What do I do in his situation if they drop you for no reason? The first thing you want to do is call the insurance and ask them why they dropped you, right? We got dropped, but with Progressive, we got dropped. But the way we got dropped was they didn't drop us right away. They just said that they're not going to be renewing with us. If they dropped you, find out the reason and then reach out to try Prime Insurance. It's going to be really expensive, but they take on a ton of risk and they're A-rated. That's something I recommend. Thank you, Ukraine Online. After 2 months, they called and asked for parking. Oh, they dropped you because of the place you were? Yeah, so after 2 months, they called and asked for parking contract. Yeah, Progressive is interesting. I would say you have to start shopping around. What kind of quote did they give you, Ukraine Online? What kind of quote did Progressive give you? Because the reason I refuse, they might sometimes they give a pretty good quote, but the reason I refuse to work with them is because they're not reliable. Yeah. Geez, where was I? Yikes. Thank you, Furman Garcia. I appreciate it, you guys. So much support. All right. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Let me just block one person who calls himself McPerver. It suits you, the name. I'm sorry, guys. I cannot. It's a pet peeve. Thank you, Ukraine Online. So, uh, try, okay, let me type it in. Try Prime Insurance. And then another one I'm going to recommend. Hold on. What are they called? Evolution Insurance. Try these guys. They're going to be expensive. I'm going to tell you right now. They're going to be really expensive. I sent you um, the link. From what I know, they're going to be expensive, but at least they take on risk. They will not drop you at the drop of a hat. You know what I mean? Where was I? Okay, so I was okay. Saw this one. I also didn't get any free money, unfortunately. Well, there was COVID. Uh, have truck capacity dropped or is still dropping? Truck capacity. So I don't have the latest job numbers, but in terms of capacity, carrier capacity is dropping, but very, very slowly, like at a snail's pace. Yeah, I'm not. Hold on. See, like, yeah, cool. Okay, let's see. You've been following the news in Ukraine. Oh, you have friends from Ukraine. Yeah, no, it's horrific what's happening. It's really horrific. There was a time it was written on my face, like when the war just started, because my family was there. The horrific, I mean, horrific is not even a word I would use. It's just inhumane. James Clark, I hire drivers, but they have to have 5 years experience is the cost of, yeah, no, I understand you. We also try to hire someone with experience, but in our case right now, we have two guys, actually potentially four people who have a ton of experience, but just not in the US. And that becomes a pity, because it's non-transferable to the US. Do I know any brokers? They're telling me that no, of course not. I don't know any. I don't talk. I talk to brokers only when I'm trying to book loads. But it's if you look at what is happening in the freight market, there's no way for brokers to make a ton of money unless you're a TQL or a huge brokerage. The smaller guys are really not. Can you tell more about insurance? The average payment a week? We don't pay per week, we pay per month, and it's a little bit over $1,500 per month, which includes liability, cargo, and physical damage. This is for our original company. For our baby company that is 18 months old, that one is a little bit over $1,800 per month. Are we going to do dry van in the future? Yeah, possibly. It all depends on the market, right? I am just looking at what the market is doing. Can you register a trailer in any state or only the state you live in? I think it's where you live, but right now we're renting our flatbeds. They're all registered out of state. Not a problem as long as insurance has them on physical damage. But the owned trailers, we registered them all in our state. Do you think flatbed freight gets better in coming months? You know what? I wish I had an answer for you. Historically speaking, if we look at the 5-year average on the spot market, no, it does not. It starts going down slightly in terms of volumes and rates and kind of plateaus, not too bad, but it does go down slightly. I wish I had more hands-on experience, but we're pretty new to flatbeds. We started flatbeds just a few months ago. We tried it last year at the end of the year for like a month, and I really started learning about it just a few months ago. Again, historically speaking, the volumes for flatbeds start going down a little bit on the spot market, and rates start going down a little bit on the spot market around this time, around August, from what I saw. August is the peak, and then it goes down. But this market is just haywire. This market is haywire, so I have no idea what to expect. I'm telling you, I'm wearing suspenders, a belt, everything. Of course, solution guys. Thank you for joining. Do you think used truck prices have flatlined? I don't think so. I need to check that out. I need to look. That was on my to-do list, but I don't think so, not yet. Hi, Mitch Newton. How do we keep track? Excellent question of the miles in each state. Yes, it's the ELD. So on Motive, keep trucking. If I go to IFTA and I filter by quarter and by truck, it will tell me, okay, so in California, you drove this many miles, and I don't know, Arizona, this many miles, and so on and so forth. Makes it so much easier. Mm, that's sad. Yeah, I'm not gonna talk about that. That's a sore subject for me in terms of Ukraine. Thank you, fugitive. Hi, Mr. Will. Yuma, Arizona, where it is hot as hell. I have never been to Arizona. I'm very embarrassed. Wait, no. Yeah, no, I have never been to Arizona, I don't think. Not that no, I have not. What kind of breed is my dog? Bulldog. So, okay, Mr. D, whose stuff that is my coworker's dog, but I consider him mine while he's in the office. I have Shermie, who is a bulldog, Snakes, who is, I have no idea what she's supposed to be, a Cane Corso, but I think she's a pit bull. I don't know. We rescued her. And that's pretty much it. I used to have a golden retriever, Rai. He was so cute. I love dogs. Who doesn't love dogs? Mm-mm. How long, I like this question. How long do we have to wait until things go back to normal? Or is this the way it's going to be from now on? A lot of people will tell you that this is the new normal, get used to it, get out of the industry. That's what people will tell you. I'm not going to tell you that because I don't believe in it. Realistically, we need one of two things to happen, and they will end up happening one way or another. Either, well, currently we know that the cost of operating a truck is sometimes costing carriers on every mile they drive. So one of two things have to happen. Either volumes go up like crazy and change the market, flip the market, or the capacity goes down like crazy. What we need is the load to truck ratio to be in the carrier's favor. Currently, it's in the shippers and brokers' favor. There are way more trucks than there are loads, whereas we need there to be way more loads than there are trucks. Realistically, capacity will decrease. It's decreasing right now. It's just not decreasing as quickly as people would expect given the current market. But realistically, capacity has to decrease because it is unsustainable. These rates are unsustainable. People will start going out of business sooner or later. So, no, this market is not forever. Is it going to go back to if you, okay, if you think the market is going to go back to 2021 levels, that no, that I do not see happening at all. That was I think they call it a black swan event or a unicorn event. That was like a perfect storm of things that caused that market. I do not see that happening. Oh, where did it go? Thank you, Armando. Where was I? Thank you. Thank you for the support, you guys. I appreciate it very much. Makes me blush, but I appreciate it. um, Yusuf, I'm in Southern California. Can you place a bid on the DAT load board without calling them directly? There is a book now feature for some brokers where you can, it takes you to the website of the broker and then you can bid. I do not recommend doing that. You need to talk to them on the phone, right? The human factor is still very, very important. It's unpleasant. I know that a lot of us are sick and tired of talking to brokers because we assume that all of them are there to just, you know, but they're not all like this, and still it's easier to negotiate with a human being than with a computer. So try to call. um to think about intermodal freight, not my forte, sadly. Wasim, recommend someone that can help me open. Send me an email. I have a few recommendations depending on what kind of equipment you're operating. Let's see. Yikes. Armando Reyes, I couldn't agree with you more. I tried to stay quiet on this subject, but yeah, I'm of the same opinion as you about if you don't like America. I love this country. I just know what it's like to live in another one. So I'm comparing. It's night and day. Where was I? Yikes. Hi, Ron. Hi, Ron. I am so, so sorry. I just saw your comment for the fourth time. I'm sorry. Hi. Hi, guys. Hey, bestie, Mojo. What do you think about changing jobs as a company driver in this economy? I think that there are still a lot of companies that, if you have a good record, there are still a lot of companies that are always looking to add to their team. One thing I have realized is there's a little bit of a disconnect between, it's going to sound so bad, there is a disconnect between people who are looking for a job and people who are offering the job. I have seen in a Facebook group one guy saying that he will not work W-2 position. He will not work for less than $1 per mile. And you just think in this market, like, how does this happen? But yeah, there are people looking for if you have a good record, always carriers looking to add new people to the team. Agreed, without a doubt. Logistics, love the name. Yeah, that's what I make these videos. First of all, what I do, I'm not this person who knows everything. I learn every single day while I'm doing my research on the videos, while I'm writing them up, while I'm recording them, everything I learn with you guys. And then I learn from you, whether you agree or disagree, I always learn. So we learn from each other here. It's really, really fun to keep a finger on the pulse of the market. Which state would you say is best for trucking on average? It used to be, in terms of loads, it used to be Illinois. Currently, depends on which equipment you have. Our trucks are automatic. Um, Peterbilt, that's another truck. Yeah, everyone's talking about either Kenworth or Peterbilt. Couldn't remember the name. Um, will we stick to flatbeds and will we ever go into overdimensional or specialized? For now, we're sticking to flatbeds, yes. Overdimensional, possibly. I think it's actually something that is worth looking into for sure. Um, I, yeah, but flatbeds, yeah, we're sticking to flatbeds at the moment. Do I think 2024 stock market will get better? I hope so. I hope it starts getting better towards the end of the year and continues getting better slowly. It's not going to be like a huge flip like it was in 2020, where all of a sudden it just skyrocketed. After a lull for a month in April, it just skyrocketed and kept on going up for like a year and a half. I don't think it's going to be like this time, but I do think that hope that we're going to start seeing some improvement as we move through quarter 3 and quarter 4 of this year, and then that it will continue slowly in 2024 as well. I, Mitch, I think I answered yeah, we do use ELDs to keep track of our miles. In terms of where we fuel up, we use our fuel card. So on the fuel card, whenever you use the fuel card, they have like a fleet manager portal, and you can pull the information of how many gallons you filled up in each state. It's pretty nifty. If you don't have that, then you have to keep receipts. Mr. Will, I have my business for almost 2 years. A friend wants to become a partner in my business. How do you pick your partner? That is a very interesting question. You have to trust the person. My business partners were all family. This is a family owned business, so I trust them beyond, I mean, like, I trust them with everything. So yeah, it's all about trust. How much do you trust? Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. You need an everlast punching bag in the office for every time you get off the phone with brokers and insurance people. You know what? I prefer to keep it in. Let it stew, and then it will just like come out. No, no, I agree. Keeping anger in or frustration in is never a good thing. I should steal I think my son has, but it's like a big stand-up one, and I think it's Everlast. Not like what is it called? Like the small one that Rocky Balboa always done, like punches. I'll steal it from my son. Prime is good too. I had them when running Hot Shot. Yeah, wait, I've never had Prime, but I hear that they take on risk. The only thing is I hear that they're a little bit pricier. Um, Fort Myers, I am half Ukrainian, half Georgian. It's not a secret. I don't mind sharing. Fabian, question about Airtable. If we have multiple units, would I create a base report for each unit, or is there a way to see all units on one report? So I have an audit file, and under that file, I have tabs. One of them is equipment, and that's where I list all the different equipment we have, including VIN numbers, when we bought it, license plates numbers, when it was maintained, everything. So I don't recommend creating a base for each one, just keep it within the thing. Hi, Toe Piglet. Thank you so much. I love your YouTube channel. Guys, watch Toe Piglet's YouTube channel. Toe Piglet is the person I learned about Airtable from, just so you guys know. He is the first one who mentioned it, and I was hooked. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Send me an email, talkabouttrucking@gmail.com. Thank you for the support. Where was I? Um, can a new driver start with flatbeds? New, I do not recommend starting with flatbeds without training. I'm just going to put it out there. Flatbeds are, look, they're, it would be your job to secure the cargo, right? So if that cargo is not secured properly, and if you're not stopping every so many miles to check that everything is strapped down correctly, that nothing went loose, and one of those things flies off and hits someone, you are in trouble. So I would say start by learning about flatbed. This is, yeah, start by learning about flatbed, get the training, and then go for it. Absolutely. Learn about how to secure those loads. Brandy, what does it mean when demand in dry van is greater than flatbed and vice versa, market wise? I'm trying to, let's see. If I understand your question correctly, flatbeds, we have to think about what these equipments usually transport, right? Flatbeds are very, very in demand in the summer months. Why? Because flatbeds are primarily, they transport a bunch of things, but primarily they transport things that are related to construction. Construction usually picks up when the weather is good, you know? So in the winter months when it's snowing and raining and all of that stuff starts happening, construction sites, some of them work, but not as much because the weather does not allow them to continue working. So flatbed demand is greater in the summer months, from what I know and from what I have read and from what I have experienced, or in warmer months. Dry vans, what do they transport? They transport everything. They transport everything under the sun. They transport retail goods. They transport dry foods. If it's a ventilated van, then they transport produce sometimes, like onions. Like we have transported onions on a dry van. Dry van is very susceptible to what is happening in the economy as well, right? Consumer demand. What is it like? What are the retail sales like? Because dry van transports all of that. Yes, I'm so sorry, guys. I really am way behind on questions. I'm trying. um, Sorry, guys. I'm just going to if I skip your question, it's not personal. It's just that I'm trying to. Some of these questions are repetitive, and some of these questions I already answered. This will be recorded and uploaded so you guys can rewatch as well. But if you have a burning question, please send me an email, and I'm going to try to get to as many people as I can. Hello, what do you mean you don't like pets? Yeah, the vet bills are crazy, especially with bulldogs. Yeah, but pets are the best. They're worth living for. Thank you. Mila Kunis is Ukrainian. um, let's see. What do I think about running flatbed? Alex, I just got your email. I'll get back to you. Thank you. What do you think about running in California flatbed, dry van, reefer? Flatbed in California it's a little bit like a tiny bit better right now than it was a few months ago. Nothing crazy. The rates are horrible still. Reefer outbound freight is really decent relative to other markets. And dry vans, I haven't checked, but you know what? Let's check. Why not? Let's look at Bakersfield, California. Why don't we? Bakersfield, the 451 matches for tomorrow, and the rates are fantastic if you're going to the West Coast for dry vans. So if you're going from California to Washington, Oregon, Utah, Idaho, something like that, you're going to get more or less a decent rate per mile. I'm talking about almost $3 per mile. If you're going out of California, you're out of luck. It's not going to be paying really well. Thank you so much. I appreciate the support. Um, where was I? Where was I? Where was I? Yeah, I love the name Without a Doubt Logistics. It's wonderful. Of course, Mitch. My pleasure. Where was I? Sorry. There is a funny comment. Um, I'm trying to find questions that I haven't answered yet because we have about 25 minutes, right? Yeah, 25 minutes. Ba, 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 ba. Is Airtable only for Apple users? Nope. So it's an online program. If you go to airtable.com, I don't think it's only for no, it's not for Apple users. Airtable.com, they have an app for Apple, but I think they have it for any computer. Just go to airtable.com and you can build your base there. I never use their app. I only do it online through the internet. Спасибо, Ukraine Online. Из Одессы. Wow. Слава Україні. You have two drivers for the safety audit. Can you submit one driver's MVR and DOT and the other driver's login license? Or do they need documentation of one driver? This will be so when they send you the request for audit, they will have the instructions of what usually they have the instructions of how they want you to submit everything. If you have questions, because every single DOT officer is different, they usually provide the DOT officer's email who's going to actually be conducting your audit. I would email them and just double check. I am bilingual, yes. I even speak French. I can read French. If I speak it, I used to speak fluently, but if I speak French right now, yeah, it's not gonna be good because I'll be, searching for words. Do I speak Georgian? No, I know how to say gamarjoba, which is hello, and rogorachat, which is how are you, and khachapuri, which is a really yummy food. I never learned Georgian. My father speaks Georgian. I never learned it, unfortunately. What's a way to avoid fake brokers? So the way that I have found on the DAT load board is I right away know, not fake, but I know if it's a double broker, if they have no check mark next to factoring, they're a completely new MC, and completely new, I mean like 2022 or later. They have no factoring. Their credit score is pretty good, and they have like 100 5-star reviews. That's how I know that this broker is either a double broker or something is off. I know it sounds backwards, but yeah, I trust brokers with 3-star reviews that factor more than I trust brokers that have all the reviews are 5 stars. Yikes, it just skipped like crazy. Mm, where was I? There are some rates that pay more if you cross to Canada. Yeah, you know what? I saw like to Alaska, it pays pretty well as well, but we don't do cross border. Have we ever had an IFTA audit? Never. I've never had an IFTA audit. I know that some people do get it, but I have never had an IFTA audit. If they want to audit me, I have all the receipts. Yeah, no, I'm the kind of person, I do not bend rules. I am I'm very it's on one hand it's really good, but on the other hand it's really bad because business without I'm not saying to break the rules, it's very different. Without finding loopholes is it's challenging. I do not find loopholes. I follow everything by the book. Like I don't know what it is. I try to do everything the exact legal way. That's why, even though I had the idea that the AB5 law could potentially not apply to us, I would not even consider it until I had proof from the government saying that it does not apply. Yeah, I'm very much, it's, yeah. I'm not a very, in terms of business and risk taking, I'm not a very courageous person. Not in that sense. Best load board for sprinter van loads. As far as I know, and again, I do not do sprinter vans, but I believe the DAT load board can does show loads for sprinter vans. John, for IFTA, do you prefer your drivers to fill up in high tax states and get tax credit later on? You know what? We calculated it doesn't make much of a difference. I mean, it does. Okay. It does. It does have some weight to it, but it really does not make that much of a difference in the big scheme of things. Yeah. You're fluent in French toast and fries. I love how French fries in French are pommes frites. It's so funny. Pomme is also apple, but yeah, I think, right? Yeah, pomme is apple. See, I'm telling you, I forgot my French, but I can read it fluently. Do you only dispatch or have trucks as well? I have two trucking companies with our own fleet of trucks. I only dispatch my own fleet of trucks at the moment. Mohammed, why do you prefer to have and run two truck LLCs? Yeah, so it's interesting. Yes, we have two LLCs, two different trucking companies. The question is why. Someone told me that I'm being shady. I'll tell you guys why. My business partner, so we're three business partners. Two of us started the first original company while we were waiting for our third business partner to come here. He had over 20 years of experience in Europe. This CDL is non-transferable to the US. In our original company, the insurance wouldn't take him. And instead of raising the insurance for all trucks by switching the insurance, we decided to open another company just for this third business partner who came from Europe, who was considered new here, to save on insurance. And then what basically happened is this new company, I mean, it also has a good reputation, so we are sticking with it. We just have two carrier companies, completely separate, two MCs, two DOTs, two insurances. They don't overlap at all. Yeah, it's all insurance. Where was I? Will we offer benefits in the future? Possibly, but not at the moment. Привет, Dan. How do I feel about box trucks or hot shots? I mean, I think they're great. I don't know much about them. That's the thing. I don't know much about them. How do I feel about them? Would I operate them? I don't think so because it seems like the rates are really, really low. In my opinion, there's less potential, but as far as I know, the expenses are also lower. Hmm. Any experience in heavy hauler? I do not yet. um, Freight forwarding leads on the East Coast. Where should I look? Send me an email. I'll show you exactly where to find them. Pink Margot Ben. Talk about trucking at gmail.com. I'll walk you through how to find freight forwarders. Oh, where? I can't believe I got to the end of the chat. I'm so proud of myself. um, what do I know about bond claim? Oh, you mean when a broker doesn't pay you and you file against their bond? Yeah, I had to do that with PLS Logistics. Yeah, PLS. What do I know about it? If the broker doesn't pay you, one of the things that will work right away, if they're late, is say that I'm going to file against your bond. If it doesn't work, actually call their bond. You can find their company, you will find it on Safer and file a claim. Yasir Mehmood, how much time cold caller need to work? I didn't fully understand. Can you rephrase that? We'll be happy to answer. Anytime. You live in California? No, I do not. No, I have my business partners, and we're the three amigos. Where are you? Or the three, wait, is it Three Musketeers? Yeah. All for one and one for all. Where am I from? Ukraine, half Georgian. How to get hazmat loads for flatbed. There are a ton of them that I've been seeing lately on the load board. Yeah. Oh, I'm so glad, Sarmad. I learned a lot from you guys as well. What trucks do we operate? So again, we have a 2018 Freightliner that pulls a 53-foot flatbed. We have a 2020 Freightliner that pulls a 53-foot flatbed. We have a 2023 Freightliner that pulls a reefer, 2023 Freightliner that pulls a 48-foot flatbed, and a 2024 coming right now. I think it's going to pull a flatbed, and the 2024 coming at the end of the year. I have no idea what it's going to be pulling. It depends on the market. Um, do you do non-recourse? No, it's recourse. So if the broker doesn't pay, we get charged. Yeah. Mm-mm-mm. What's a good down payment for a new semi truck and a good payment per month? The question is, what is a good interest rate? Um, the best down payment is zero down because then you have cash flow, and an interest rate of 3% would be awesome, but that doesn't happen. Yeah, it depends on the interest rate is what you want to be worried about because that's the amount you pay on top of the truck price. I'd love to see you do a video on buying your first truck for those who want to. You know what? There wouldn't be much of a video because I have a contact at Velocity Truck Centers. We do it all online, but that's something I will look into. Thank you, Gristard. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you for the support. Yes, those are truck listeds across both companies. Correct. What's the average rate for flatbed now? Excellent question. Let's take a look as of last week. Mm, flatbed spot rates. As of last week, there were like $2.43 per mile posted rates according to the load boards. Yeah. But these rates are going down, unfortunately. Flatbed is kind of doing something very, very weird. Flatbed is, it's disappointing because I was not really for the flatbed in the beginning when we switched. I was scared of it. I was scared of it because I didn't know much about the equipment type, and this meant that I needed to learn a new market. But I started really, really enjoying it because it was just more predictable in terms of loading and unloading, and you learn about the requirements for actually strapping down the loads, the different things and how they are connected, and what commodity requires what. Like shingles, they usually don't require tarps, and lumber usually does require 8-foot tarps a lot of the time. You learn all of that, and I'm really disappointed that flatbed became kind of weird, that it started going down. But I'm going to stick with it for now. We'll see what happens. Do companies still put loads together instead of doing dedicated? What do you mean? Like booking off the load board? Yeah, a lot of carriers work off the load board. Yeah. So Fabio is asking, does anyone have experience with a dry van hazmat? Because I don't. Do you know if it's good money? Do you like the long hooded Peterbilts? I don't know. I can I can because I have experience with Freightliners. I can tell that it's a Freightliner from 10 miles away. I can't even remember what a Kenworth and Peterbilt look like. I am horrible. I'm good at the booking loads, back office, trucks and cars and all of that. That's not my forte, unfortunately. I had an idea of actually learning about it, learning how everything fits together, like the mechanics portion. But I don't think even if I tried to learn it, it just wouldn't go through my brain. It's just I'm not wired that way, unfortunately. To me, it's like quantum science. On an older video you made about getting loads directly from manufacturers or the direct shippers, yeah. Do they pay more? Sometimes. I can tell you that I am getting an email from a direct shipper every single day regarding flatbed freight, and a lot of the times he pays less than what's posted on the load board. So it depends. Mhm. Not all direct shippers will pay more. Good fund business funding. We don't do business funding, so I can't recommend anything. Anyone know? Anyone can recommend any business funding that they trust? Be careful, by the way. I just found out from a subscriber that if you do business funding, you have a harder time getting factoring because of the UC, what the hell is it called? Yeah, something like that. Produce is strong. Yeah. Of course, Jose. Thank you for joining. Hazmat rates are insane. I need to start looking into hazmat. But the insurance portion, it's just ugh. Renwick, we have never been stopped by the police, so we have never had a DOT inspection. You mean a random roadside? Yeah, a lot of brokers are finding any reason right now to deny a carrier. It's the weirdest thing. And it would make sense if they were like finding, okay, a lot of people said, okay, they're lazy to set carriers up. But I'm seeing that brokers that we're set up with, that we do loads with on a consistent basis, are just randomly lying, no, we can't work with you. And then I call back, and of course they can because we're set up and we never had any issues. But yeah, so and I heard that even some brokers, for example, you'll call and say, I need a voluntary inspection, the broker won't take it. It's the most annoying thing. It's tough. It's not impossible though. Just remember, nothing in this life is impossible. There's always a way. Do I see a big difference with the 48 versus 53-foot flatbed? No, for the most part, no. However, there are areas where the broker will be asking for a 53-foot flatbed and will pay more for it. There are areas like this, especially, I think it's, and I'm sorry, I might be butchering it, KC, hold on, let's see if I can find them. KCH, KHC, who is the broker who constantly has loads for 53 footers and they pay pretty much better. Not KLC. It's either KCH or KHC Transportation. They constantly have better paying loads for 53 footers. If we vote you to become the president of the United States, what would be the 3 things you would do to improve the trucking industry? I would never want to be president of the United States. Yeah. I would never. I wouldn't be able to either. I wasn't born here. um, yeah, that's a loaded question, though. I need to think about it. When is the market gonna get better? I have no money left. I know it's horrible. I get it, you guys. The market, as I said before, I'm really, really hoping that it starts slowly climbing up throughout quarter three and quarter four of this year and continues climbing up. I know it's really tough right now. Yeah. Ron Smith. Wow. Hazmat, tanker, Twick. Yeah. Because a lot can't qualify. Yeah, you get that negotiating power on your side, right? Because now you have a lot of things that other carriers don't have. Yes. So Mario Diaz, excellent question about the OOIDA insurance. As far as I know, they are a risk retention group. So risk retention group is something that not all brokers will work with. Brokers are looking for an A-rated insurance. The way you find out whether your insurance provider is A-rated, go to ambest.com. I'm going to write it for you guys. Hold on. You can create a free account there. Yeah, you create a free account there. You can search up the insurance carrier and you'll see their rating. You want to get an A-rated insurance carrier. A risk retention group will be the first thing that brokers will say, we're not going to work with you anymore. Yeah, especially in the current environment. Okay, we have about 3 minutes. Let's answer some questions. Khadija, how would I know about trucks? I'm a dispatcher because I'm an owner of 2 trucking companies. I'm not just a dispatcher. That's my biggest job, but it's not that I dispatch outside carriers. I dispatch our fleet of trucks. That's how. And I do all the back office for those as well. It's okay. We don't have to transport King. I appreciate you trying to shield me, but we don't have to block those. I don't mind them. I am always open to people questioning what I do because it's normal as long as they're not inappropriate, you know? People will be people. It's completely fine. And is my family safe in Ukraine? They're no longer in Ukraine, thank goodness. Yeah, they escaped. Thank you for asking. Whoops, where did I go? I appreciate it, Transport King. Yeah. But anyone who asks things like, how would I know about anything or questions me and my experience, it's okay. I don't mind those questions. I think they're important and they're valid questions. They don't know me. I don't expect everyone to watch every single one of my videos. I don't mind. Um, Landstar is a joke. Landstar, you guys, Landstar charges for uploading the bill of lading to like you deliver a load, they will charge you like $4 and something or $5 for uploading the bill of lading. Anyway, we have about 1 minute. What happened to my alternate? I know, Mr. Williams. I fired her. See, the alternate ego was great when there were things. I don't actually know. I don't have an excuse. I don't know why I got rid of the alternate mouse voice. It's still in my head. That mousy voice was what I was thinking and not saying. I should bring her back for like a little bit. Hi, Dmitry. Welcome. But I am going to actually, yeah, I'm going to bounce. But let me see if there is any like last second questions. Scamstar. You mean Landstar? Scamstar, love it. bring the alternate back. Yeah, it's funny. Some people were so pissed off at that alternate ego. One guy even said that he hates the mousy voice, and I corrected him that it wasn't a mouse, it was a chipmunk, clearly. How could you like not differentiate between a mouse and a chipmunk? Yes, we're looking into leasing on owner operators for sure. I'm trying to figure it all out. Anyway, guys, I do have to go, but I appreciate all of you joining today. For the most part, it was a wonderful chat. Not many like interesting comments. You know what I mean when I say interesting, like off the wall comments. I appreciate you all. Thank you, without a doubt, logistics. Love that name. Merci beaucoup, de rien. Thank you so much. Anyway, guys, should I sell your? I wouldn't, not yet. Not yet. We'll see what happens. Anyway, guys, I will see you in tomorrow's carrier capacity update, where we'll look at how many carriers entered and left the market. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. See you in the next video. Bye. Happy Sunday.